Okay, we're back. We're on our second page of notes. I am exhausted, like breathing hard from teaching to a computer. It's very weird. I'm like wanting to call on people and no one's there except Barley. She's asleep. Anyhow, we talked about place value. We converted decimals to mixed numbers and mixed numbers back to decimals. Okay, we know about our tenths place, our hundredths place. Now we're going to talk about grids and number lines. Friends, you should recognize these. We've used them a lot. The difference between the two is simple. It has to do with place value. These pieces here represent tenths. They represent tenths or 1/10. Another way to write that, not just 1/10, would be 0.1. 1/10. Okay. Next door here, this whole grid represents hundredths. There are literally 100 pieces drawn in here. Now they're not drawn perfectly. I did my best, okay? These represent hundredths. One colored in will be 1/100th. Do you know how we write that as a decimal, friends? 0.01 is 1/100th, okay? Now, after you watch my lesson here and you've taken your notes and done all your practice, you're gonna go into Khan Academy and do some practice there. You will encounter these grids, okay? Some of them will be filled in partially. So let's say that you come across a grid with 3/10 filled in. I'm not going to go all the way. 3/10 filled in. Let's write it as a decimal. Let's write it as a fraction. Pause my video, write 3/10 as a decimal and fraction. Okay, we're back. You wrote it down. Let's see. I get 3/10 as a decimal. It's going to be 0.3. My 3 there is in the tenths place. You see my decimal point. As a fraction, 3/10. Okay. I hope you got it right. If you did, give yourself a pat on the back. Next one, you're going to come across hundredths as well on Khan Academy today. Let's say that we have, 23 colored in. Okay, again, I'm not going to do it all the way just to save time. Pause the video. Tell me how you're going to write 23 hundredths as a decimal and a fraction. Pause, go. Back. Okay, we're writing 23 hundredths as a decimal and fraction. As a decimal is 0.23. That's 23 hundredths. As a fraction, 23/100. If you got that correct, give yourself a pat on the back. Okay, remember, friends, all you have to do is recognize, am I looking at a tenth or a hundredth, and how many are colored in? Okay, you got this. It's place value and then choosing the right denominator. Ooh, remember those words, numerator, denominator. Okay, finally, fourth graders, we're going to talk about number lines when we're talking about decimals and fractions. Okay, I hope that you remember this lesson. It was semi-recent. So I have a number line here that's going from 0 to 3/10. Okay, I have 1/10, 2/10, and 3/10. Now, on Khan Academy, again, they're going to give you similar problems to this. My red dot there on my number line in halfway between 1/10 and 2/10, they might say, what's the value of that fraction or decimal? Well, my friends, here's what we are able to do. Between 1/10 and 2/10 are little bitty hundredths, right? We know that 1/10 is the same as 10 hundredths. Let me say that again. 1/10 is the same as 10 100ths. And if I'm writing this as a decimal, 1/10 is the same as or equal to 10 100ths. That tells me that there are 10 hundredths within a tenth, right? You can even see it right here. This is a tenth. Oh, look, there's 10 hundredths in 1/10. So anyhow, using that idea, my friends, we're zooming in on the number line between 1/10, or I also wrote 10 100ths, and 2/10, also 20 100ths, okay? I literally took this 1/10, this 2/10, expanded it here, and we're zooming in. So now we can find What number is right smack dab in the middle there between them? You'll notice I went from 1/10. It's also 10 100ths. I said that before. Look what I did. 11 hundredths, 12 hundredths, 13 hundredths, 14 hundredths, 15 hundredths, 16 hundredths, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 hundredths is our last number there. I hope you're saying that along with me and you're like, oh yeah, I totally remember this. It's inside of there. It totally makes sense to me. There are 10 little tick marks in there. Now, halfway between them is going to be 15, okay? Because halfway between, or half of 10 is 5, right? So it would make sense that we are on 15 100ths here, okay? Now, I can name this point. I can call it 15 100ths. How would you write 15 100ths as a decimal? Pause for a second, write it down. Okay, you're back. Writing 15 hundredths as a decimal, 0.15. Okay, you got that right? Give yourself a pat on the back. Okay, my friends. This is the end of our note-taking lesson portion. It is now your job to get onto Khan, do some of those practice problems, and really work it out. Remember, you can always come back here and watch me explain things. Shoot me an email if you have a question, a text, whatever. You can also look at Khan, okay, and watch the videos to see if those help you too. Okay, you have lots of resources at your disposal. Good luck. It's lovely to see you, even if it's just from a computer. Sweet little Barley says, good luck on your math. Oh, I should give you a tour quick. There's the wall. There's a box of stuff from school. I had to move the bookshelf as my impromptu video recorder because I'm using my computer. Okay, friends. We will see you later for another math lesson. Hope you enjoyed. Bye-bye.